All right, guys. Here we are, the 1987 Topps Traded set breakdown. I really wanted to include it in yesterday's video with the whole complete set, but it just would have been way too long. And this is the set that I first started to complete, well, at least get a head start on it, because it was smaller. I was just getting started. And so I know a lot more about this set, and it's smaller, and I can kind of go in depth about each player. So I hope you like this. Maybe I can do it with some of the smaller sets out there, like some of the traded sets, and get you an idea of what's some of these guys signed, some of these guys have never signed, some of them are passed away, that sort of thing. One guy in here will never sign this card. He even said, I don't know why, I don't know the reason behind it, but I'll get to that pretty soon in this set breakdown, actually. So yeah, I don't want to waste too much time. Please like, subscribe, comment which ones that you guys are going to target, and I don't want to make this video super long like yesterday's was. So let's get started here. We got Bill Allman, very good signer, easy to get. Not going to be a problem with the TTM. Scott Bankhead. Not a traditionally good signer. He has not had a success in quite a while. And I have sent to what I thought was his house address. I've also tried to send to his baseball academy. And I've yet to get anything back. And that's been months ago. So just keep an eye on my weekly hauls and see if I get lucky enough to get him back. Eric Bell, very good signer. You can get that back pretty fast. Juan Beniquez, never a good signer. That's going to be a rough one to get. I don't even know if he really does any, festivals or fan fests or anything like that where you can get this card signed. Maybe you'll find someone that will be able to do some sort of private signing with him. Just keep an eye on that. Juan Behringer, $5, easy to get. Greg Booker, unfortunately, Mr. Booker passed away in 2019. So that's won't be able to get that one. There might be some listed on eBay. That's the best way to get this. Thad Bosley, very easy to get. Larry Boa as well. Get that. I think I got this back in like less than a week. Greg Brock is a very good signer. Bob Brower, I think it took a couple months to get back. Jerry Brown, another very good signer. Ralph Bryant, I did send to him a couple months ago. He does sign periodically. Hopefully, I'll have success here soon. That's what I'm hoping for. He does have some stuff on eBay that's not super hard to get, but if you want to just do strictly TTM, it may take a couple tries. Dwayne Buse, is that how you pronounce it? Fortunately, he does not sign anymore. He has nerve damage in his signing hand or his arm. And his signatures were just way too different. And I guess he just kind of wanted to be fair to the people that wanted his autograph. And he actually sent messages to a few TTMers to get the word out. I've seen that on sportscollector.net. It's like $15 a year to be a member. Sports Collectors, is that what it is? .net. You'll see if some information there. There's a lot more private signings in there, but Sports Card Forum really has a lot of the same information. But if you want to get TTM Mr. Buse, it's just not going to happen. Ellis Burks, he is $20 through Pass Pros. Jeff Calhoun, very good signer, easy to get him. Ivan Calderon, unfortunately, Mr. Calderon passed away in 2003. Casey Candell, he signs through his minor league baseball team, where he's a manager. Probably not a good time of year to do that right now, though, since seasons are ending. John Kendrell he has had successes here off and on. It's rare. Might be kind of hard to get him. So I would wait until there's a lot more successes from him before I would send off. Steve Carlton is $40. Juan Castillo, never been a good signer. It's going to be hard to get him. Rick Cerrone is a 1 card autograph per submission. John Christensen, never been a good signer. I don't even think I saw a single success ever from him. So Ron Say is $15. David Cohn is $50. Chuck Krim is kind of difficult to get. I did send off to him. My brother did as well. My brother got his back, and he gave me this one. So I still have one pending from, I want to say late June, middle June, something like that. Storm Davis, I mentioned this in the big set breakdown. Traditionally a good signer, has not had a success in quite some time. I actually think he just has a bad address on these sites. So maybe in the future someone will get a good address and we'll get some more returns from him. Andre Dawson, $10, very good signer. Rick Dempsey, as of right now, it looks like it's $5. Maybe I've seen people give $5 and get 2 cards signed. I don't know. Just to be safe, I would do $5 a card. Doug Drabeck used to be a very good signer, has not had a success in quite some time. He used to personalize autographs, and maybe he just didn't like people selling them. I know that's a thing, so it's going to be hard to get him. Mike Dunn, this is the one card that you'll never get signed, I guess, because he has never, and he will never sign this card. I don't know what this problem is. I did send off to him, a few months ago at this point, and he did sign the 1985 USA Topps Topps card. And so I'm very thankful for that, but yeah, he just won't sign this card. Dennis Eckersley is $10. Lee Aaliyah is $5. Brian Fisher, it's a good signer. Terry Francona, he just hasn't been a good signer. Chances are you're going to have to go to some fan fest or do some sort of private signing with him. He would just be bombarded, I have a feeling, if he were to do TTMs, just based on his history as a Red Sox manager and, Cleveland Indians manager and stuff. So Willie Frazier, I did send off to him, haven't got it back. Kind of hard to get. He's very streaky on signing. Billy Gardner, unfortunately, he just passed away in January 2024. I believe he was 96 years old, so he lived a long life. Unfortunately, Mr. Gardner will not be able to sign this card. He does have quite a bit on eBay. Ken Gerhardt, very good signer. Danny Gladden used to be a good signer, hasn't had a success in a while. I have seen some people have success in a very short window during spring training, sending to, I believe it's the Twins spring training home. I think it's in Arizona. And I do see some people get some returns from him. I mean, it's a very short window. It's like early March or something. So just an idea of maybe a time period to send him. Jim Gott, good signer, but it takes a while to get him back. Cecilio Guante, and he has had Pass Pros. He was a member of Pass Pros in the recent past, but he hasn't had a success in well over a year. So I don't know if he's still a member of that or not. Albert Hall, he's a good signer. Terry Harper, he has had some success in quite a while, and he also has some past pros history as well. But as of right now, it's going to be hard to get him signed. Brad Havens, never a good signer. Really has had very, very limited amount of successes ever. Mickey Hatcher is $15 through JD Promotions. Neil Heaton is $5. Mike Hinneman is $10. Donnie Hill, once again, never a good signer. Just going to be extremely difficult to ever get that unless he changes. Guy Hoffman, it's a good signer. Brian Holton, he's streaky, very streaky. It's going to be hard to get this signed. Charles Hudson, he's a good signer. I did send this card, as well as the 87 tops, I believe, and the 80, I think it was 84 tops, and he only signed one of my cards for some reason. But I will send off to him at some point, maybe later in the winter, early next year, and get this signed, hopefully. Danny Jackson, $10. Reggie Jackson is $100. Chris James, never a good signer. Very, very, very few ever successes, and his last return was probably a decade ago. So, Deion James, good signer. Stan Jefferson, never been a good signer. It's gonna be hard to get. Joe Johnson, it's a good signer. Terry Kennedy, very good signer. Mike Kingery, I have had one out to him, I think maybe since May. He has not had that many successes. Maybe he's a coach somewhere and he's going to wait till after the season. Historically been a good signer. So, Ray Knight, not historically a good signer at all. So it's going to be hard. Gene Larkin, oh boy. He has in the past. He's had some successes at his, I believe it's called Nevers Larkin or Larkin Nevers Baseball Academy or something like that up in Minnesota, but he hasn't had success there in a very long time. The people who have had successes, I believe, are members of something called the Harvey list or some list that you can subscribe to, because on sportscollectors.net there are some people that's gotten successes from an address that they just call home. So, I mean, maybe down the line I can subscribe to that. I don't know how full upfront I can be about the addresses. I don't know how that really works. But, it's going to be hard to get him if you don't subscribe to one of those high-end lists. Mike Lavalier, he is not a typically good TTMer. He does do a decent amount of private signings. I think I saw one coming up. I think it's like $8 a card. So it's not breaking your pocketbook or anything. So Jack Lazorko, good signer. Terry Leach, very good signer. Tim Leary, not a good signer. I have sent to what I thought was his house address, and I sent to, I think it's like the Santa Monica Baseball Academy where he is in charge of that. I didn't put it on Sports Card Forum because I didn't want to lead people the wrong direction until I get it back. I haven't got it back, and that was in July, early July, I believe. So chances are probably won't get that back. Jim Lindeman's a good signer. Steve Lombardozzi, historically not been a good signer at all, so it's going to be hard. Bill Long, good signer. Barry Lyons, it's a bit streaky. I have had one sent out to him, I think, since late May, early June. I haven't got it back yet, so maybe he catches up in the winter. Shane Mack, not a good signer. I think his son is, I don't know if he's in the minors yet, but he wasn't a good signer either. He's not. Greg Maddox, he doesn't have any TTM successes. I would guess FanFest or something like that, and you'll probably have to pay pretty up there to get something like this signed. Bill Madlock is $10. Joe McGraney, Not a good signer. Probably have to go to like a Cardinals fan fest or something to get that signed. Dave Martinez, I have had him out to the Nationals address. I don't know if he just waits till after the season to sign, but he has a very high percentage rate. So hopefully he just waits till after the season. Fred McGriff, yeah, not a good signer. He would be bombarded if he was. Mark McLemore, I think it's one of those, you have to have one of those list subscriptions. I haven't really seen one that signs or address that works. I just see the at-home thing on sportscollectors.net. And on Sports Card Forum, it's been, I think, over a year since he's had a success. So, might be tricky to get him. Kevin McReynolds is $5. I just sent this card out like last week. Dave Meads, he's streaky. Let's just say that. I think I sent it off to him in like June. Eddie Milner, unfortunately, he passed away in 2015. Greg Minton, I would love if he signed, but he does not. Look at that airbrushed hat. He's got some crazy looking cards. I don't know what it is. I think it was like 1978 tops. The whole card is like airbrushed. It's wild looking. I would love that signed, but he does not sign very much. Either does John Mitchell. That's going to be difficult to get signed. Kevin Mitchell, he has had success in the past for $25, but that address might be bad. I would kind of look around. There might be a better address out there, but I could not find it. Charlie Moore just doesn't have a good address, and he's never been a good signer. Jeff Musselman, I would say the same thing for him. Never been a good signer. I think my brother got him like 20 years ago. Gene Nelson, very streaky, but you have a shot there. Craig Nettles, it's very hard to get him. I would say he signs maybe 1 out of every 10 submissions that he has. I'm sure as a former Yankee, he probably gets bombarded, if he were to sign regularly. And so just give you an idea. Reed Nichols, never a good signer. Chances of you getting that signed is very slim. Tom Niedenfuhr is $15 through JD Promotions. Joe Necro, unfortunately, he passed away in 2006. Tom Nieto, never a good signer. Probably won't get that signed. Al Newman had some success years ago. I actually tried an address. I think it maybe it was like baseball school he worked at, and it had a return to sender on it. So I don't know if he really does this anymore. Matt Noakes, years ago, it's a decent signer. Hasn't had a success in, I think it was like, I don't know if it was quite a year, but pretty close. Dickie Knowles, same thing. He very good historically, but not very good at all recently. So Pat Pasillo. Lance Parrish is $15. Tony Pena, never been a good signer ever. So Luis Polonia, same thing. Just it's going to be hard to get that signed. Randy Reddy, historically good, hasn't had success in quite a while. So Jeff Reardon, $10. Gary Reedus, $5. Jeff Reed, he has quit signing this card for some reason. He quit signing this card and his 87 complete set card and some of his older cards he does not sign. So I had to pick this up off eBay for a couple bucks. Rick Roden does not sign. Has never really had as much success there. Cal Ripken Sr., unfortunately, he passed away in 1999. Wally Ritchie, I have had one sent out to him, I think, since July. Haven't got it back yet, but he is a streaky guy. Jeff Robinson, unfortunately, he passed away in 2014. Gary Renicky is a decent signer. Jerry Royster, never been a good signer, ever. Mark Salas has not had a success at all since 2021. So, I guess just keep an eye on him and see if he starts signing again. Luis Salazar is a good signer. Benito Santiago has never been a good signer. Dave Schmidt, very good signer. Kevin Seitzer, I did send off to him maybe in June. He is a coach for the Braves. I can't remember if he's a hitting coach, but I sent to the Braves. Hopefully I'll get something back after the season. Kind of maybe not looking like it, but that's what I've tried. John Shelby has never been a good signer at all. He's got braces. I just noticed that. Steve Shields, it's a decent signer. John Smiley, has never been a good signer. Chris Spear, I believe he is $15 plus $3 Pass Pro fee through Past Pros, PASTPROS.com. Mike Stanley is a good signer. I've had one. I think I've had this card out for a few months though, so I have to kind of look and see if maybe it got lost in a shuffle and I have to resend again at some point. Terry Steinbach, I sent off to him. I think it's like $2 a card to his scholarship fund, but it's very, very long wait. So I sent off to him. I think it was June, and I don't know what I'm expecting. Maybe sometime next year I might get that back. Les Straker, he lives in, I believe it's Dominican Republic or somewhere outside of the U.S., and he's never been historically a good signer. It's going to be rough to get him. Jim Sunderberg, he has not had a success since 2015. I would love to get this card signed as a Cubs fan, but doesn't look likely. Danny Tartable is only $2. Heck of a deal to me. Tom Troublehorn is great signer. Dave Valley, never been a good signer ever. So Ed Vandenberg, good signer. And events like he's a Pass Pros guy. I think it's 10 or 15. I think it might be $15 or $20. I think it's more than 10 per card, plus the Pass Pros fee or whatever. So I'd love to get this signed. I don't know if I'll ever get around to do that. Gary Ward has not had a success since 2019. Alan Wiggins, unfortunately, he passed away just a few years after this card came out in 1991. So there's probably a very limited amount of those out there to be even sold. So Bill Wilkinson, very good signer. Frank Williams, unfortunately, he passed away in 2009. Matt Williams, he has had some successes, but he hasn't had any in roughly 2 years. So keep an eye on that. Maybe sometime in the future he'll get back to doing some TTMs. Jim Wynn, good signer. Matt Young, very good signer. So there is my card-by-card breakdown of the 87 Topps Traded set. Hope you enjoyed that. This is something that I want to complete at some point. Hopefully some of the cards might be a little too out of my price range unless I find them, unbelievably cheaper than what I can get them signed for. I don't know if I'll do it unless I'm down to a few and I just want to splurge and just get get done with it. But I hope you like it. Check out yesterday's video with the 87 complete set. I think I give some pretty good information with that too. So I will be back Sunday for my TTM haul. And I want to thank you guys for watching this. And I'll see you Sunday.